Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, you don't sound like it. Oh, boy. John Peckman Podcast. Coming to you, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge. Go through one set of lights, start looking left. Well, finally happened, kids. I knew if I stuck with this long enough, I would land an actual rock star. It finally happened. We have a rock star here.
And John is here, too.
Well, yeah.
He is a rock star, too.
Well, whatever. Joe Bouchard, former member, important member, essential member.
Yeah.
Of Blue Oyster Cult.
I was the bottom. I held the bottom up on the
All right, you ready?
band.
You ready?
Yeah.
Correct me. Cities aflame with rock and roll.
Yes.
That's you.
Yep. Bass.
Don't fear the bass player. Don't
Bass.
fear the Reaper. That's you.
Yes.
Godzilla.
That's my
you.
bass. My bass solo, too.
Hey, that's a nasty solo. Song that used to scare the hell out of me. Joan Crawford.
Risen
Yes. from the grave.
Yeah.
What else? Burning for You.
Burning for You. Big hit.
Hit. What am I missing? Astronomy.
That
Astronomy.
was
That's
covered by Metallica.
Ooh, that's right.
That's a big cover.
That's right.
If you can get a Metallica cover, it's like getting a Sinatra cover.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You still get
Or
checks.
Ray Charles
You still get Metallica checks.
Yes.
Excellent. Maybe they'll cover it again. Wow. So, but you have done much more than that.
Yes.
Would you say that's how it started? Whatever it is.
It's a long process.
That's fine. Yeah.
Should I go back to the beginning?
Why don't you, in case we don't get to it, tell us what you're doing now.
Oh,
okay. So we can kind of front load it with your activities, and then we can go back.
Well,
I want to make sure you get your.
I was in the band for 16 years.
Wow.
It was pretty much a real endless grind.
Yeah.
But being a young kid,
sure,
it was the best. It was unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And it was kind of luxurious, too, I must say. Columbia Records came through for us.
Nice.
I was in the band for 1 year when we signed with Columbia.
Okay.
And normally, I mean, I don't even know what it's like now, but but you had to figure you're going to be in the band for 10 years before you'd get a chance to be
lucked
signed.
out. You just like... Whoop.
Well, before that, my brother and the other 4 members had a deal with Electro Records.
Right.
So I was in college. I was studying at Ithaca College, got my degree in music education.
Oh, wow. Even way back then.
Yeah,
wow.
way back in 66.
Why'd you bother with the rock star business?
Well, because I knew from when I was in high school I was going to be a rock star.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I had no desire to do anything else but become a famous rock star. And then my brother and the other guys were in New York recording for Elektra. And, I said, well, if they can do it, I could probably do it.
And you're from where?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Way up in Clayton, New York.
And they're from?
They're from Long Island,
right.
kind of all over.
Sure.
Queens, Long Island.
And you knew about them?
Yeah, I knew about them. I used to, in my college breaks, I would go to Long Island and I would jam.
I see.
They'd have these long jams. We'd go to the city, go to the scene, check out the bands in New York.
Sure.
But I still got my degree.
Yeah. Smart.
About 2 months after I graduated from college, my brother calls me up. He was the drummer. He was the original drummer.
Oh, okay. So he was already
I'm still tied in with him.
Yeah.
Well, I'll always be tied in with my brother.
Sure.
But he calls me up in the middle of the night and says, "You got to come to know. We need a bass player. Things are not working out with the old bass player." So I said, "Sure."
They already had a deal, so you were like,
they had a deal.
Yeah.
So and they were going to open a tour for Led Zeppelin. They were going to be the opening act for Led Zeppelin. So it was like, wow. So I said, I'll be right there.
Sure.
So
the moment you've been
Labor Day weekend, I drove to the band house, the worst traffic I'd ever seen in my life. And I got there and I said, "Hey, I'm ready for the tour. When does it start?"
Yeah.
Because I knew their songs.
Sure.
And they said, it's not happening. The tour's not happening.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well,
you got back into traffic.
Led Zeppelin actually didn't have an opening act for most of their career. So, and then 2 days later, they get a telegram, an old-fashioned telegram from Elektra saying you're off the label.
They said,
so
you're
not
off the
only
label. Stop,
no tour, but no label either.
Oh.
So I said to the guys, I said, we're going to make this happen. Don't ever call me again. I said, we're going to make this happen. I had a lot of faith in them. I liked they did 2 half albums for Elektra.
Okay.
And
were they called Blue Oyster Cult?
They were called Soft White Underbelly.
Right. Yeah, far out.
And so I said, we're going to make this happen. So we started playing clubs and going out on the road and playing little mining towns in Pennsylvania and upstate New York.
So you weren't afraid. You just said, we're going to stay in the game.
We had 2 vans.
Yep.
And we drove all over everywhere. One of the gigs we played, we met a producer who had a jingle studio.
Okay.
And this is David Lucas, who was like, a big jingle guy. Mm-hmm. But on weekends, his studio was empty.
Oh.
So he liked us, and he said, come to the studio, we'll make some demos.
Great.
So we made a set of demos. Our manager shopped them around. Nobody liked them. So we went back out on the road and worked on more songs. Huh. And then a couple months later, we did another set of demos, and we started getting some traction.
Okay.
And then we did a live audition in the conference room for, It wasn't a club. It wasn't. It wasn't a nice studio. It was in the conference room.
Silence. Yeah.
It was in the conference room at Columbia Records.
Oh boy.
For Clive Davis.
Oh.
Bobby Columby was there.
Yeah.
Harry Nilsson was there.
Whoa.
Patti Smith.
Whoa. Oh my.
Jimmy Iovine.
Oh, I'm nervous. It's just.
Yeah.
You're like Santa Claus.
They had 6 chairs.
Oh.
At the end of the conference room, we had moved the tables out, and we just played 5 songs as fast as we could, as nervously as we could.
Oh. And you're just looking at Clive Davis trying to get.
Do they like this?
Oh wow!
Yeah. And the next day they said they're going to sign you.
Cool.
So I'd only been in the band a year.
Yeah, perfect.
And then the real work starts. You have to record a record, and that was "Cities on Flame."
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
That was a song that
like a radio FM.
Yeah.
That was always when I was growing up.
Still,
the song was
still
a part of it.
Very popular song.
Yep.
And that started us. We started opening shows for big bands. We did.
How did the name? You probably told the story a million times, but Blue Oyster Cult. How did that? What's that?
It was actually a poem that our manager wrote.
Okay.
And he had this sort of thing that is still tied into today, this sort of mythology that he made up about the band.
Oh boy.
And Blue Oyster Cult were aliens from outer space who came to change the course of history.
To bring you rock music.
Yes.
Makes sense.
And so then things started rolling. Things started rolling. Yeah. We didn't have a big hit until 76, and this was in 71 we got signed.
My question. Yeah.
72 so they had to put up with us not being successful for about 5 years.
You were out there, but you created your circuit.
But we were endlessly touring.
Yeah. Huh. Wild.
It was wild.
And then what broke? Was it Don't Fear the Reaper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reaper
was when
broke through.
In your life started to happen.
All of a sudden, the shows were full.
Yeah.
And girls would come to see us.
Yeah.
Before that, it was just guys in leather jackets.
Oh, I see. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It was like we had a predominantly male high school audience.
Sure.
And then everybody started to come to see us.
Yeah.
Because of the Reaper.
How did that song break I wonder, do you remember like how
they didn't put it out right away as a single.
Yeah.
It took several months.
Yeah.
But it started out in the West.
Okay.
And then it, you know,
yeah, right.
went to California and then Chicago and
all of a sudden everybody's playing it.
Boston and just there's something magic about it.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
It's a classic. It's been used in 75
Can you imagine?
Movies and TV shows.
Yeah. It's an
not to mention
right, which we'll
the cowbell.
We will talk about. I was not gonna, but you brought it up. Yeah. No, it's a classic. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you can't count on that. You're recording this stuff,
and so you didn't know. I mean, you would never have thought this is going to be a single. You're just because it's bizarre. It's a bizarre song.
Well, we knew it was a special song.
Okay.
And Donald, our guitar player, Buck also known as Buck Darm.
Okay.
He brought in a demo that was right in the pocket. You know,
nice. Okay.
Really, well, the harmonies.
Did it have the cowbell on it?
No cowbell.
Okay, all right, we'll get
Actually, his drum set was him beating on some books.
Yeah, sure.
He had a made up drum parts.
Yeah.
Just by pounding on some books.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You guys just went to work.
So then at that point we could be headliners anywhere. You know.
One song.
Yeah, one song.
Cool.
One song.
Cool.
Changed everything.
That's great. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and we did some stadiums. We played Madison Square Garden.
That must have been, that's got to be where you're just like, okay, this is it.
Yeah,
it's just a dream that you never would imagine could come true.
Right.
Yeah, that's wild. Wow, Madison Square Garden. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. It was. People ask what was the best. That was probably one of the best. But we did Winterland in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We did.
International.
Place in Boston,
Did you get out of the country?
Yeah. We did several festivals in England and France, Germany.
Yeah.
We went to Japan.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Sure. Oh, I got you. Of course. Yeah. That's
Godzilla
a sure shot.
in Japan.
Although it could have gone the other way. They could have been like, no, don't. We don't have songs about that.
Yes.
Japan hates you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. All right, let's just get this over with.
Okay.
Talk about the cowbell. All right, so
the 90s, I left the band in 1986.
Okay.
I was burnt out.
Sure.
Burnt out from all of the stuff. I felt like artistically we may have peaked.
Okay.
Yep. And
what was the last? I remember Burning for You. I remember.
Yeah, Burning for You did really well.
Sure.
And then we did 3 more albums after that, but there was no
you just
magic.
Starting to feel like, okay.
Yeah, it was like getting a little hard to do this.
Yep. And you were the ripe old age of who even knows.
I was about, I don't know, 47.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And I had 2 daughters and a family, which I kind of missed.
Yeah, sure. You just thought.
So that sort of, I said, well, it's time for a change. I'm going to do something.
And you had something to fall back on. Like they always told you.
That's
one good thing. You're like, I'll go back.
I wasn't going to be a high school teacher, but I did end up being a teacher for about 8 years in a private school.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I did video and I did music in the private school.
Sure.
Foreman in Litchfield, Connecticut.
Okay. So then you ended up in Connecticut somehow.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah. And
of course your students didn't know anything about the cowbell yet, so you didn't have to put up with that.
No. It was rare. There was while I was teaching there was a movie that came out.
Okay.
Which was The Stand.
Oh, right, sure. Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah, and the first 5 minutes of the movie is the Reaper.
Yeah. Sure.
So I all of a sudden got a little bit more.
Yeah, you're like, hey, that's me.
Yeah, the kids were like,
yeah,
wow,
that's creepy.
He's
creepy
a cool
song.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a creepy song.
Yeah, well, it has multiple layers. Yeah.
It
can be a romantic love song, and it can be the most scariest thing ever.
It's a creepy song. There's no doubt about it. It always freaked me out when I was a kid. I thought, how they always say, like, misheard lyrics.
Yeah.
I thought it was, we can eat a crayon. We can eat a crayon. Because I was a kid, I was like, well, sure, that'll probably kill you. They're telling you, eat a crayon or whatever. But yeah. Whose idea was the cowbell? Sorry,
okay.
Hung up on that. I just want to.
It's actually
somebody's going to
part of a true story, and the this producer Dave Lucas.
Yep.
Who's really was into production more than the other producers, which are more into like conceptual things and how are we going to sell this and he was into the Beatle records and stuff, so he knew the levels of production.
I wonder if that helped.
Yeah.
Get you
cowbell on Baby You Can Drive My Car.
Yeah.
Would certainly influence,
Sure.
David saying. So we had finished the song, and we're sitting at the record plant, and everything sounded great.
Sure.
Wow, this is fantastic. We had one track left. It was a 24 track.
Yeah, right.
There was one track. So what are we going to do? Well, let's do some percussion on this track.
Sure.
And they had a couple, they had a triangle, and a weiro, and a few other things.
All that stuff.
And then the last thing, we're just sitting there and Dave says, I think it needs a cowbell.
Oh, boy. All right.
Little did we know that a good 20 years later, somebody would have heard. They put on the newly mastered CD.
That's funny. Yeah, right.
It was Will Ferrell. Put on the newly mastered CD, and all of a sudden he could hear that cowbell.
And he's like, what is up with that?
What is up with that?
Concocted the story. Wouldn't it be funny if they were...
And it was really pretty much true. Albert went out there, played the cowbell, one take.
Yeah.
And I remember, because there's a lot of people say, well, no, I played the cowbell.
Yeah, right.
Eric played the cowbell. No, David played the cowbell. So, but I was there, and I was really relieved because Albert got through it perfectly.
Yeah.
One take.
History.
And I was like,
And it did make a difference.
Yeah. And I came back
a hook.
A couple weeks later and heard the final mix, and I said, holy crap.
Yeah,
this is going to do some business.
It's an epic tune.
Yeah.
It's epic. Yeah.
And so we were really lucky.
Did you feel that your portrayal was accurate? Were you satisfied with who portrayed you in Saturday Night Live?
Horatio Sands was me.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah.
How accurate was the wardrobe?
Very accurate. And I used to do this thing where I'd bob my head.
Did he really do research?
And he did. They must have seen a video of me, and he was doing the thing that I did, bobbing my head. Yeah. Right. Now, I was a little heavy back in those days, but I was never that.
Well, okay, let's set the record straight.
Yes, please.
That's cool.
I guess I was chunkier than anybody else in the band. All those skinny guys.
Whatever.
Skinny, short guys.
Yeah, but you're the bass player, man. You gotta,
bass player's got to hold down the bottom,
That's what I'm saying.
They're supposed to be those heavy guys.
Yeah, you get away with it. So Reaper, next level. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah. And
it's time.
And Burning for You kind of cemented that these guys are not going to be a one-hit wonder.
Right. Yeah.
It really cemented it in there. Godzilla did very well. Like I said, Astronomy.
Well, I don't want to make you feel old, but I grew up in high school. I graduated high school in 1985, and Blue Oyster Cult was right in there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like my high school years. Yeah. That the logo was what you
Yeah, you drew it on your books.
Yeah. No, Blue Oyster Cult was part of the thing for sure.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, so I mean, it worked. You reached the kids. I was one of those kids. So.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Yeah, and I remember Burning for You. I remember it. It was on the early days of MTV.
MTV.
The dude catches on fire.
The first week that it came out, we did that video, and they didn't have an awful lot of videos to play, so they played us a lot.
Right, it was on all the time.
Yeah.
The guy bursts into flames in the car and all that. Yeah, I remember the whole thing.
We did 2 videos in one day.
Really?
In Los Angeles.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was the second one for the day. We did. Joan Crawford has Ridden from the Grave.
I've never seen it. I'm scared. Should I see it?
It's been banned.
Oh, really?
It's been banned.
Can we find it?
You can find it.
All right.
You can find it.
I'm scared. I was always scared of that song.
That's
a creepy idea because we were freaked out enough that Joan Crawford was so abusive. You're like, she's going to come back from the dead and continue to. Ooh.
The record label hated the video.
Oh, really?
They really buried
we'll have
it.
to watch
and then MTV, he said, we can't play this.
Yeah, sure. But probably legally too. But
Yeah.
probably.
It was
So who's?
now it's nothing.
So you guys are morbid. Are you all like that in the band? Like, because that was the thing about Blue Oyster Cult growing up too. You guys were kind of like.
We didn't want to be the most, commercial,
Sure.
love songs, nothing but love songs.
It was a little danger.
Yeah, it was a dangerous thing. Eric, particularly, all the guys were into science fiction.
Yeah.
They read the science fiction book
Sure.
cover to cover. Donald was really was a big Stephen King fan.
I see. Yeah.
So, he wrote several songs.
Yeah.
And Stephen King put the Reaper lyrics in.
That's right.
In the Stand.
I remember that. In the book.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that. Yeah, for sure. There's one last thing, and then we
Sure.
move on. But I remember. See if this sounds familiar. But so when I was a kid, even before MTV, all we had was magazines. I would walk to the drugstore and get Cream magazine or Circus or something, and I'll never forget there was a picture of maybe one of them was you. I don't remember. But whoever it was, two dudes in Blue Oyster Cult had their guitars like crossed. Like
Yes. No, that was Eric and Buck.
Okay, yeah.
Eric
and
and
I was
Buck.
well, I would just because all I could do was listen to music and stare at the pictures, and I was like,
Right.
"What is going on?"
Well,
there?
that was
crazy.
I don't know where we got that from.
Was that part of the?
Well, we
but I
had
was like,
it was part of
these guys are crazy.
It was part of the show.
Yeah.
We grew
But
up.
the guitar necks are like that.
We grew up in the '60s,
Sure.
and the big show move was James Brown and the Cape.
Okay, all right, sure.
So we kept saying to us when we'd be rehearsing, like,
Someone's
what can we do that's as good as the Cape?
Yeah. Something.
We had a triple drum solo for a while.
What do you mean?
Where Albert would play a drum solo, and then Don would start playing on the drums.
So everybody's.
And then
yeah.
Eric was a good drummer. He'd be playing the triple drum solo. Always got a great response. Then we had the 5 guitars.
Did you ever have a giant? Did you have a giant Godzilla?
Giant Godzilla.
Yes, of course. Better. I hope so.
It was built by Bill Graham in San Francisco.
Cool.
And we took him on tour with us. Eventually, he lost his arms and his legs, and he was just a head.
No, that's all right.
But he was still. He came into the hall on a forklift.
Right.
We just like come down the aisles.
Great.
Fantastic. Smoke and lasers.
Yeah. It's great. Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Where's the Godzilla head now? Who knows? Nobody knows.
Oh, it's a long, sad story.
Oh, really?
He went through customs.
Oh, no.
And they took it apart.
Oh, no.
They took apart.
They didn't find all the drugs that you hid inside it, did they?
There was nothing inside
Oh,
it.
boy. And that was it.
And that was it.
You're like, oh, that's it.
That was the end of Godzilla.
Oh,
The
wow.
customs in, Belgium. I
Yikes.
don't know where it was.
Oh, well. I hope they're happy.
Yeah.
I hope they're.
Yeah.
They destroyed.
They ruined a kid's
Yeah.
fantasy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So then you left the band and you started your new life.
Yeah, new life.
Yeah.
Like, what should I be doing?
Sure.
And for 2 weeks, I said, I'm getting out of music altogether. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do music.
Sure.
And then I started dreaming about music. And,
right.
You get those things. It's like,
Sure.
I got to do this.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll be a producer.
Okay.
I'll produce some bands.
Why not?
So I put an ad in the Village Voice.
Okay.
And I ended up producing about 8 or 10 bands.
Hey, that's cool.
Over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
And nobody got signed.
Oh,
And it was sad. I thought it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
Figuring the sort of odd group of guys that got together for Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
All I need is an odd group of guys, but there was something more that was needed.
Was the business different? Or
I was not a good businessman.
Okay.
I felt like I had the music chops,
Yeah.
But even then, it's psychology, and there's just it's so much. It was going to take a lot more than I
And this
thought.
would have been what year?
This was 86, 87, 88. I got a call from my brother though at that time. This is a good one.
And he was still in the band.
He had left before I left.
Oh, okay.
He left in 81. I left in 86. So I was there
Did he have something? Did he have something to fall back on?
Well, yeah, he was doing a solo album, which
Okay.
eventually came out as a Blue Oyster Cult album.
Sure.
I'm helping him on the follow-up to that now.
Yeah.
So my brother calls me up again and says, hey, how would you like to be the keyboard player in the Spencer Davis group?
Whoa. Hey.
This is, I've been
Like,
out of...
What, is Steve Winwood unavailable?
No, he wasn't. Wow. Steve Winwood, Spencer was the guy who started the group. Mm-hmm. He found Steve Winwood.
Right.
Was a student in his high school.
Wow.
He was a teacher of Romance languages. He taught French and and German, Italian. Huh. And Steve Winwood would be playing piano in the music room.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, you should be in my band.
You're right.
Wow.
And Steve Winwood's brother, Muff Winwood, was in the band, and I guess another guy.
Yeah.
So, long story short, Steve started Traffic and his solo career and didn't really want to do Spencer Davis group.
Sure.
So Spencer would just go out and, he had his 2 hits.
Sure.
Give me some lovin'.
Yeah.
You played it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Plenty of times. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I went out. I bought myself a keyboard, went to Sam Ash.
You play keys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
cool.
I was a piano major in college.
I see. Okay. I see. So you're ready for...
Yeah, I was ready. Yeah, I played all those songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a Man and
Sure.
Give Me Some Lovin'.
Yep.
And Spencer got a cover on the first Allman Brothers album.
Oh,
A song
okay.
called Don't Want You No More.
Oh, all right.
That was his song. So he would go out and basically he ran into I think it was Chuck Berry that told him, you don't need to take a band with you. You just go pick up band. You can get a pickup band.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Give Me Some Lovin'.
Oh no.
But
then you're out of a gig.
But so we were kind of like the East Coast band.
Never should listen to Chuck Berry. Damn.
So we were kind of like the East Coast band,
right.
and he actually took me to Florida and out to Pittsburgh, and we traveled around a lot. It was fun.
That's cool.
So
is he still with us?
No, he just passed away.
Right.
About 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe about 2,
Thought so,
3 years ago.
Huh.
But I enjoyed that. That was like one of those things. Like, it was time to do something else. Well, this is different.
It's definitely something else. Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so then I started teaching in school. And that was good. I got my master's degree from the Hart School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Dave. Yeah. My boss knows all about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, got my master's degree, but then they wouldn't give me a raise at the school. I figured, master's degree, they got to give me a raise.
Right.
But they, so I said, I talked to Dave Smoliver at the workshop.
Right.
And he said, well, we're gonna open up this publishing company.
Right.
We're gonna, they had been making books for their summer
National Guitar. So tell us what that is.
The National Guitar Summer Workshop.
Yep.
And they had been making some books for their students for the summer program.
Yep.
But then they got a deal with Alfred Publishing, and that's where you came in.
That's right.
That's where you came in.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I was hired to a total turnaround here.
Yeah.
I was going to learn the book business.
Oh, okay. Why not?
Typesetting.
Wow.
All setups and stuff.
Yeah. And how long did you teach?
I taught for about 8 years.
Wow.
And then
so this is like your third career.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was time to try something new.
Sure.
Sure. And I loved it at first, but eventually it got a little boring.
Yeah.
Because it was a 50-week job.
Whoa.
You had 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
I didn't know how the real world worked.
Sure. Yeah.
When you only have 2 weeks vacation, that's sacred.
Yeah.
So the first year, I said, I'll just take a day here and a day there.
Sure.
But then after 2 years of this, it's like, I haven't had any time off.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And
that
it
happens.
was starting to make me crazy.
Yeah.
And I was starting to see the dots. I'd see the dots on the page. And Okay.
Oh,
So this is where I met you.
Okay. Yeah.
When we were doing the CDs.
Okay.
That went into books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was in 8 to the Bar. How did you find Colin? How did you know? So 8 to the Bar had a studio. Colin Tilton was a producer. He had a home studio.
Yeah.
And he called me,
And he could make these records in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
We'd make a whole CD and then it would have 50 examples.
Yeah, he told me he's just like, we're gonna, do 15-second or 30-second pieces in a day.
Yeah.
And I remember I had the book.
Yeah.
And you were in the control room. You're like, all right, let's do 75. Okay, rolling. I was
number 76.
But the good news was I was replacing the drum machine. So all you were recording was me. So all I had to do was run the stuff down next.
That was an easy one. Sometimes we did them live. Mm-hmm. We had a live band.
Yeah. I might have done it more than once.
Yeah.
I don't recall, but anyway, yeah.
There was, and sometimes there were some fun ones where we said, "Oh, let's just pretend we're the E Street Band."
Yeah.
You have to kind of like use your imagination and those things.
Yep.
So that was a good run. I wrote some books for that company.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then after that, the Metallica cover came in.
Oh,
so I quit my day job.
Hey. Thanks, Metallica. Thank you. Now I have more than 2 weeks off. See ya. That's great.
Wow,
so just like that.
I started teaching independently.
I see.
And I could actually raise my rate, make a little more money.
Right. Right. And then I bet you once one Saturday Night Live, then you're like, I'm that dude. I can raise my rate even more. Dude.
So I did that. I did that for about... the most I ever did was those lessons, and I did Kent School and
sure, up at
gunnery,
northeast corner,
which now it's the Gun School.
Oh,
Frederick Guns School.
Yeah.
They changed their name
all up there
since I've been there.
Oh, really?
But I had a great time. I love teaching, and working with young kids. And they bring in all the new songs.
Right. So you know what's going on.
So you know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that, things changed. My living situation changed and decided to retire.
Oh, wow. Hey.
Actually, cool.
Thanks, Metallica.
Yeah. My accountant said, you should stop because you can, your pensions will... You're losing money.
Oh, I got you.
I was charging a lot for lessons, but I was still... Basically, my expenses were higher than and
okay.
So,
thank you, accountant. So you made it. You're like, great. They're telling me I don't need to work anymore. This is fantastic. I can't wait till that happens. I don't even know if I have I don't have an accountant. No, who's going to tell me? Like you made it. You hit it. Wow.
So then, and all during this time too. Even when I was teaching, I started doing solo albums.
Right.
Independent solo albums. The first one
why not?
Yeah, the first one I had Michael Cardelloni.
Okay.
From Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Oh, okay. All right.
Play drums.
Yeah, nice.
And then the second, third, and fourth, and fifth album, I just decided I was going to use the newest software for drums.
Right, sure.
And while I was doing that,
everything.
This guy's John Peckman. I kept thinking,
really?
Maybe I should get John.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah. That's
well, we had such a good time.
Yeah.
Doing those educational books.
Yeah.
But cool. So then I went to an open mic.
Okay.
And there was this guy there who played the flute.
Oh.
The guy who played the flute at open mic, just over where I live near Killingworth in East Haddam.
Right, sure.
So I went to open mic, and there was this guy who played the flute, and he wanted to play. Jethro Tull.
Sure.
Locomotive Breath.
Yeah, sure.
So I said, I'll learn that.
Yeah, sure.
I'll learn that.
Sure.
Come to find out, this is Todd Curry.
And
it's Mickey's brother.
I got you.
And
I see. This is where, and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Mickey Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need a flute player.
Yeah.
I don't need a flute player.
Yeah, you need a drummer.
And
And
I
no,
need
I totally get it. Yes,
Yeah.
Mickey Curry. Call
Yeah.
Mickey Curry before you call John Peckman. That's okay. I'm good with that. I agree. That's fine. Yeah, I love Mickey. I really want to get him on.
gotta
I don't
get him
know
up
him.
here.
I don't know
He
him.
doesn't like to do interviews, I don't think.
Well, whatever.
But
we'll
you should definitely talk to
I'll
him.
try. I love his playing. I've always been a fan.
Yeah.
But his name keeps coming up. So
Yeah, I mean, not only has he done a lot of pop type records, but he did Alice Cooper.
Yeah, that's right. The Cult.
The Cult.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah.
And so that's,
so you're like, hey.
I got his number from his brother.
Yeah.
And because if I would,
And so you learned the locomotive breath just to kind of get the phone number. You're like, all right, okay.
Yeah. And then he said, let's go over to Vic's place.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the place.
And
to go.
I kind of known Vic from when I was producing some of these local bands.
Okay.
Back in the 80s.
Oh, all right.
That
Yeah.
far back.
Yeah. You're going to run across Vic. If you're around here.
Yeah. He is the man.
Yeah. He's the man.
And really enjoyed your
Oh, thanks.
podcast
Well,
with him.
and I'm just going to reiterate, I don't know if I had a chance to say it, but yeah, I was a kid. And he was like, you got to get out of your basement and start playing with people.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what I would have ended up doing.
Yeah.
If he didn't push me out of the basement. He would literally get a call for a drum gig and go, what are you doing next Friday? I'm like, nothing. I'm going to high school. And he's like, I'm going to send somebody.
Wow.
I'm going to send somebody. He's good, though. And then I would show up with my parents, and they'd be like, who's this kid? But so he stuck his neck out. So, yeah, anyway, Vic, he was the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, created my career out of nothing.
Yeah, well.
So anyway, there you are with Vic.
Yeah. So we did the last two albums with Mickey over at Horizon Music Group.
Great drum room. Drums sound great in that room.
Yeah. And so the new album is coming out
which I listened to
June 3rd.
Yeah, cool.
I just finished the cover yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's finished, but the artwork is always a
kind of
issue.
Autobiographical in a sense.
Yes.
I listened to it. It's kind of like looking
I sent
back.
you a link to some of the tracks.
To kind of like telling the story.
It's telling the story.
Yeah.
And that picture on the cover is me in 1976.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
there you are.
My
The
living the life.
Yeah.
Some of my solo albums I would be like sort of critical of that era. But this new one is really kind of celebrating
the
70s.
Yeah, why not?
Celebrating the 70s.
I don't know if you find that this is true, but I think I've noticed, because I'm not that young myself, but nowadays, like when I was younger, music was much more categorized. Like you were a rock person, you were this person. I think kids today like everything. If they like it, they like it.
Yeah.
So there's not as much of a thing attached to of like, oh, this is 70s. They don't care. Like I don't think that they care as much as we cared about how what you listen to creates your identity. If they stumble on it and it's good music and they like it, they just like it.
Right.
So that's kind of
It's a different world now, the rock and roll world.
Well, you don't have to reframe yourself. You could go, I'm that thing.
I am that thing.
That's
right.
Thing.
That's why I felt about this album.
Cool.
This is really my pandemic album too.
Sure.
So I did a lot of writing.
Yeah.
A lot of rewriting.
Yeah, right. Why not?
In fact, I'm doing a songwriting seminar.
Okay.
Coming up June, it's not June. April.
Okay.
It's only in a few weeks.
Okay.
In Westport.
Oh, all right.
They're talking about songwriting and lyrics specifically. So, and which will be good because I've got this new album where I did a lot of writing.
Right.
No covers, all new. And and
then I ran across you years later, in the Jeff Pitchell world.
Yes.
We and it was like, oh hey man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that dude. Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. Yeah.
I played some gigs with Jeff, as we all have.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, Jeff's another one. You're going to run across.
We had a band for like 2 weekends.
Right.
With Simon Kirk.
Sure. Yep.
And the bass player was from Double Trouble. Oh, Tommy Shannon.
That's right.
And I had Tommy Shannon playing "Burning for You."
Yeah, imagine that. Yeah,
imagine.
That's bizarre.
I want to go back to the master tapes and cut a new bass part after hearing the feel that he had.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Huh. And so you're still, you have a, I see you have a band now, do you or no? Or
I have, I'm playing with Blue Coupe, which is myself and Dennis Dunaway from Alice Cooper.
Okay. Yep.
And my brother. And it's a like power trio. Oh, but we have the girls too. We have Tish and Snooky.
Okay.
Who are our backup singers.
Sure.
And then
what if I could get Dennis on here, do you think?
Oh, he'd love to.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Alice Cooper. I would be scared. My older sister used to, scared me worse than Blue Oyster Cult.
Dennis is a teddy bear.
Oh, really?
I worked with him longer than anybody in my life, pretty much.
All right, I might.
Before I left Blue Oyster Cult in like '85, I would go to Neil Smith, the drummer,
right? Sure.
And Neil Smith's house, and we practice.
Wow.
Just on
just to do something.
Get off the road and try some different things, and try to write some songs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
he's
I'm and then I have my group with my brother, which is a sort of acoustic, and my partner Joan plays lead guitar in that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool.
And
you
then,
guys do the.
Don't do the cross guitars. We don't want to. You can really.
Gotta get a fret job.
You can really screw up a guitar. The frets just go flying.
Yeah.
And let's see. This Sunday, I'm playing with my friends Orleans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
They're playing in Killingworth at a benefit.
Oh, cool.
And I was really lucky that I got to go to Iraq.
Oh, wow.
In 2010 with Orleans.
Wow.
And we had Jimmy Jameson from Survivor. We had Skip Martin from Kool and the Gang.
Cool. Yep.
And I played bass on some of the stuff. And
Now that must be, can you imagine them going, I got the bass player from Blue Oyster Cult playing a Kool and the Gang song like you talk about. You're like, this is bizarre.
And Alex Ledgerwood from Santana. So we did some Santana. It was a variety show.
Yeah. Sure.
This, if you can imagine Bob Hope. USO show for the troops. And I didn't know what I was getting into.
Uh-oh. Why? What was it like?
Well, I figured the war was almost over in 2010.
Sure.
It was supposed to be officially over in September. We were there in July.
Oh, boy.
So they send you a contract that says, if you die, you can't sue the U.S. government.
Oh.
For this tour. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Sure. And I'm thinking, there's a Hilton in Baghdad. Maybe we'll just fly into Baghdad and play some shows in the ballroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, really?
It was on flatbed trucks
in
the desert.
Oh.
And it's 125 degrees.
Ooh. And there you are.
There we are out in the desert.
Burning for you.
Burning for you.
Oh, man.
It was scarier than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
But I enjoyed myself so much.
Did you ever feel that you were in danger?
A couple times.
Wow.
A couple times, But we were well protected. We had, guards for the band.
Still.
The band had their own guards.
Like you said,
they had to wear flak jackets and helmets.
That's wild. You probably didn't figure, like you said, that your mortality was going to come in.
It was going to come into play just because I wanted to play some songs, and the greatest musicians, we had Elton John's drummer, Charlie Morgan. We had Elton John's guitar player, John Jorgensen, who plays on my album.
Oh, nice,
also.
nice. Okay.
I got John to play on my album. Cool. So anyway, this Sunday, I will be with Orleans, reliving some of our stuff.
Yeah, well, this will probably post before then, so hopefully it'll get the word out a little
it's
bit.
a benefit for the local Parmalee Farm, which is a sort of like a historical society. Historical Society. They want to build a new building, and we're trying to raise some money for that.
Cool.
So it's nice to do.
So the
a local
Orleans
thing.
dudes are around here.
Yeah,
somehow. I'm not
they're all over Florida, Nashville.
But they can be.
But they're and Aztec Two-Step is going to be there too.
Oh, all right. Okay. So there's some kind of confluence in here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was lucky to play a bunch of benefits with them over the years. And
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, trying to do something different.
Why not? I guess always, right?
But I'm doing this with you.
Hey, and this is different, all right. I'll tell you. That's cool. That's really cool. So you're just gonna play until you can't play?
As long as I can play. I just.
You're probably playing guitar by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to be playing mandolin and trumpet.
Oh, wow.
With Orleans.
Did you? All right. So trumpet.
Yeah.
So go back.
Okay. So I retired.
Yeah.
I retired from teaching.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic came along.
Sure.
And I got more time than I know what to do with.
Sure.
So I said, you know what? I was never very good at trumpet back in high school.
Oh, wow. So you took trumpet in high school.
Yeah, I took trumpet in high school, but...
time to dust it off.
And I bought a couple of trumpets. I got sort of obsessed with trumpets.
And you're at gig level now. You're getting hired to play trumpet.
I can almost play.
That's kind of awesome.
Talk
about things you never thought would happen. I can almost play,
yeah. And I put trumpet on my album, too.
Hey, that's cool.
That's real trumpet,
Right.
Sometimes I use samples.
But you were like, I'm going to bust it out.
Yeah, bust it out. And
hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I took up the mountain dulcimer. I did the same thing. I was like, I'm going to be locked up, so I'm teaching myself to play. Yeah. It's not that hard. But
yeah.
Kind of wild.
I mean, it was.
I know the feeling.
You had to make the best of, the pandemic.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. How did you even get involved with music in the beginning? Were your parents musical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of. My uncle particularly was a really good jazz guitarist.
Okay.
And he had, he really got us started.
Mm-hmm.
My Uncle Bill. And he was like a weekend warrior. He played the jazz gigs.
Sure.
And it always seemed like the people that were doing those gigs were the happiest people in town. It's a small town. We're talking about a real small town.
Mm-hmm.
But they always there was some magic when they get together and play and
people. Yeah. That's cool.
Doing the sort of Les Paul old tunes.
Yeah.
How High the Moon, things like that.
That's kind of awesome.
So he had a bunch of guitars, and he actually let us little kids, I was like 10, 11 years old at the time, use his Gibsons, and he got a Jazzmaster, Fender Jazzmaster.
Yep.
The first year they came out.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the big semi-hollow body. It's
yeah. And we played all through high school, and my brother who ended up in Blue Oyster Cult was the drummer, and life was good. We won the Battle of the Bands.
Hey. So
it was like School of Rock, but we won.
Yeah, right. Well, you were like, I'm going to win the Battle of the Bands. I'm going to be a rock star. You're like, check. That's awesome. That's cool.
I'm just
rock and roll dream come true.
Just lucky, just lucky that,
I guess, whatever. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you're part of the thing.
Right.
Nobody doesn't know Don't Fear the Reaper or Godzilla. That alone, just that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing else. Yeah. It's awesome.
Well,
Yeah. Why not?
Still doing that stuff.
Hey.
Got to do it.
Got to do it. Yeah, got to do it.
Yeah.
We're getting close to the end. Is there anything that you want to touch on that we did not? Anything that nobody asks you, or anything interesting that you'd like?
We could talk for days.
Yeah.
But
use the opportunity. Anything that.
No, I'm good. Right, I think it's all pretty good.
Right.
I'm hope to write a book sometime.
Yeah, right.
But
why not?
Yeah. Got to go through all the archives, and
oh boy,
it's endless.
Yeah.
It's endless.
I can imagine.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens with
that. Yeah.
In the meantime, in the middle of the pandemic, my brother and I decided we're going to start our own record label.
Hey.
So we got a record deal and a distributor which is through ADA Warner Brothers, Deco Records. And we started our own custom label called Rock Heart Records. And
why not?
It's working out. You know, we're actually
you can't.
We got
lose.
money in the
bank.
bank.
No matter what you do, you can't lose. You're just like you're winning. You're winning. That's awesome.
I don't know what it is. You know, I'm just here for the party. You know,
that's okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I have. If you've seen the show, just like the general questions, are you a consistent practicer of your instrument? Do you have a practice regimen, or you just kind of?
Do I practice? Yeah. Especially with when the pandemic hit.
Yeah, sure, sure. Kind of back at it.
I should be a little more intense about it, but I'm usually working on something every day.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's interesting.
And trumpet is very demanding.
Yeah, right. You got to keep at it.
I was doing 2 hours of trumpet every morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your neighbors must have loved that.
Luckily, we live way out in the woods. Way out in the woods. Drives her nuts, but
sorry.
that's okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. I do practice.
That's good.
I must say.
You're still into it. Still into learning stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Desert Island albums.
I thought about this.
Oh boy. Okay.
And I would say, the Beach Boys today.
Nice.
Or, because Pet Sounds is,
sure.
But before that, pre-Pet Sounds.
I know what you mean. It's kind of like the
or
Rubber Soul.
Rubber Soul. I was going to say Rubber Soul.
Right.
But if I had one,
sure,
it would be the complete Beethoven symphonies.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, all of them. All of them.
All 9.
Yeah.
Because there's something there for every mood.
I see. I'm not that familiar, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. And,
so that's
you can sleep with the stuff, or you can dance with the stuff.
When did you get into that?
I've been doing classical. When I did my master's at Hart, really studied,
Yeah, don't forget about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. This is a good one.
Oh, yeah? What do you got there?
This is a Pink Floyd tribute.
Oh, nice. Yep.
And I play bass on one of the tracks.
Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, let's see that. That's cool. So you have things coming out still.
Yeah, this just came out. It was about 3 months ago.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm playing on a track with Al Di Meola.
Oh, wow.
And Billy Cobham.
Yikes. That's
scary.
Cool. Hey, man.
I love Billy.
You're hanging with the big cats. That's big cats.
What's his name? Mraz from Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And the singer from Dream Theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it really came out good.
Yeah.
Now, this is another one of those sort of pandemic things. Yeah, Patrick Mraz. Yeah. Pandemic things where everybody recorded at home.
Oh, I got you.
And we put it all together. Yeah. But just to have my name next to Al Di Meola's.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that was
You want to talk about what you do with your partner?
Yeah. Well, we do we're doing the Bouchard brothers.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. We played the Kate
player.
And
that's awesome.
She does the guitar. It helps me with the high harmonies, of course, on the recordings.
Sure.
Tell them about the ballet we did.
Oh, we did a ballet.
Oh, nice.
For the Connecticut Ballet.
Wow.
Called Pool of Memory.
Hey.
And that was an incredible experience.
Wow. So you're up in a whole lot of different.
Well, yeah, that kind of goes back to my, graduate school days.
Wow.
And my graduate thesis was a ballet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
it's kind of like a return.
Yeah.
To,
where
wow.
you write for
So
orchestra.
your whole rock stardom was just an interruption to your. That's kind of cool. That's cool when you think about it.
But we did this Pool of Memory was a 6-minute ballet.
Oh, wow.
My thesis was 45 minutes.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But the one they did this up at the park in West Hartford.
Yeah.
And we went up there to see the premiere because we had no idea. I mean, what does it take? We had 10 days to get this thing together.
Whoa.
She did the costumes and the backdrop.
Wow.
Myself and another friend did the music. I had to record the music, mix it.
Yeah.
I'm doing all of that. Kevin O'Neill, was the other guitar player. Great guitar player.
Wow.
And so So we went to the premiere, and we're stunned. It was like, how did this happen?
It worked. You made it work.
It worked.
It happened.
It worked.
Because you're a winner. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
but
you should know by
it's
now.
like one of those good one.
Hey.
That was a good one.
Hey, that's cool.
So yeah, so we tried to do this.
Skinner cruises and play.
Yeah, we went on the Skinner cruise.
Oh,
and
nice. All right.
played with a lot of the musicians and
Sure.
Southern rock players.
Great.
Good fun.
Went to Sweden Rock.
Sweden Rock.
Wow. Yeah.
Did the Sweden Rock Festival in 2019.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's cool. You
we
got in.
we
right
were ready
before
to go back, but
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
pandemic shut it down. So.
Well, time
We're
will come
doing
again.
a tour of Scotland and England in August. 8 shows,
Wow.
mostly headlining.
Oh, wow.
There's 2 shows that we're opening for another band, but
Yeah.
we'll be in the UK in August.
Awesome.
Knock on
Great.
wood.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Desert Island food. Quick. Food. What could you
Hot
eat every day?
wings, buffalo hot wings.
Buffalo hot wings every day. You're just like, this is good. Wow. That was easy. That's easy. Wow. All right. You know what? Any final last words?
It's been great talking.
Yeah,
to you.
I know. I haven't
we-
seen you in a long
yes.
time. Yeah. So we're finally, so not a rock star casualty story. You like had a life before and a life
pretty good.
after, and
Yeah,
you're still learning, you're still moving, you're still doing new stuff.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
What else could you ask for? You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of guys that you traveled this path with are either not here anymore.
I guess I could use a yacht or something.
Well, maybe Metallica, maybe they'll do another, astronomy part 2 or whatever. Wow.
Yeah.
Tell them about Career of Evil.
Oh, we had this song that was the 3rd single that Blue Oyster Cult ever put out, called "Career of Evil."
Okay.
And then J.K. Rowling, who
Oh.
she did a book called "Career of Evil." Every chapter in the book is a Blue Oyster Cult song.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, even obscure ones that
Chick-ching.
she was very nice about.
Hey, that's
And
cool.
then it became a TV series in England.
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening. So you made that impact, and then it just
Yeah,
still
and
rippling.
it's not
Art
like I have
School
a
of
door.
Music connection,
Yeah,
Dave. Once again,
yeah.
Yep.
And I got my master's from there.
see,
Yeah.
everything's connected. It's all connected. Yeah, every time, no matter what.
I love
Cool.
it.
Joe Bouchard, a
John
great story.
Peckman.
A great story. Not a sad.
Great podcast here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank Dave. This is all Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, Dave's the best. Thanks for coming. Yeah, of course. All right, we're gonna go. Joe
Thank you.
Bouchard, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. That was awesome. Blue Oyster Cult, the essential member of Blue Oyster Cult. That's right. He was there when the cowbell was laid down. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time. That is all.
Bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.